Welcome to Shining Through Time, the stories of the Eastern Stars, the podcast where we shine light on the lives and stories of members of the Order of the Eastern Star. I'm your host, Sister Nicole Cubbage of Frederick Chapter number 79 in Frederick, Maryland, USA. In each episode, we'll sit down with OES members from all walks of life to hear how they joined, what keeps them inspired, and the lessons they've gathered along the way. Whether you're part of the OES family or just curious to learn more, we're glad you're here. Let's get started. Here with me today, I have Sister Carole McGraw of Frederick Chapter number 79. Hello, Carole.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. Can you tell us a little about yourself and your background before joining the Order of the Eastern Star?
I actually started in one of the youth organizations called Job's Daughters before I even joined Eastern Star. My grandfather, Nelson Newcomb, was a Mason, and he was our connection to Eastern Star, Masonry, and Job's Daughters. He was very proud of us to join Job's Daughters, and then when he heard we wanted to join Eastern Star, he was ecstatic because he got to have a family legacy continue on.
Nice. And your sister is also in the Eastern Star,
all
right?
three of my sisters.
Yeah, and your mother as well.
My mom as well.
The whole family. Yes.
Yep, except for my father. He has no ties to the Masonry.
Okay. And are you from Maryland?
I was raised here in Maryland, but I was born in Virginia.
Okay. And what positions have you held?
In Eastern Star, I've held chaplain, Star Point Ada, Star Point Ruth, Star Point Esther, and Star Point Electa. I've done conductress, associate matron, and worthy matron.
What was it like for you when you first joined? Was it like everything that you had expected? I take it you had family that was in it before you, so you were probably already pretty familiar with it, also having been in Job's Daughters. And
I was familiar with some of the aspects. I was thrown a few curveballs because Eastern Star is not like Job's Daughters. Like I said, Job's Daughters is the youth, where it's teaching more about respecting your elders, leadership, public speaking, and you have to bring those to Eastern Star, where you have to get used to being diplomatic and more on the able to handle situations a little differently.
Yes.
So it was kind of a curveball, but I'm a quick learner.
You are. You're very intelligent. What exactly inspired you to become a member of the Order of the Eastern Star? Was it your familial relations, or?
It was more when I was in Job's Daughters, we got to meet a lot of the Eastern Star members.
Okay.
And seeing them going where they were going, it was like that was the inspiration. I can go further with this organization, both with Job's Daughters and Eastern Star. And it kind of just stuck.
What were some of the things that you were hoping to get out of Eastern Star in the long term?
That's kind of a tough question right there, because I'm still learning everything. I do want to keep moving forward. I do want to learn all the positions eventually.
Gotcha.
But it's going to take time. It's going to take us growing with more members to reach that point.
Yeah, it definitely will. We have a bit of work to do, don't we?
Oh, yeah. But I think we can do it.
I do too. We're determined. Can you share a memorable moment or experience from your time in Eastern Star?
I have a couple. One would be my grandfather coming to my first installation as worthy matron.
Aww.
And seeing him proud to see us going through that point.
That's sweet.
The second big one was when I got my first grand representative's appointment. Because it was after my installation. Madge Jones,
what year was that?
I do not remember off the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
It's been so long.
Okay.
But Madge Jones, one of our past grand matrons, had appeared. And she, just as I was getting ready to close the meeting, she interrupted and said, "I have a special announcement." And I was afraid, but when she told me what it was, I broke down in happy tears. Because that is a high honor for many past matrons to get, is a grand representative's position.
Yeah.
Because we get to travel to another state.
Yeah, I've had it. I've actually had one, even though it wasn't a grand
or a past matron.
A past matron. Yeah. I was a grand representative for Colorado, but I never actually went. I was in college at the time. So funds were tight.
when I got mine, which was West Virginia, so it was right over the border.
There you go, not too far.
Not too far. I managed to go twice in my 3-year tenure and got to meet a lot of interesting people.
That's awesome. It was a good experience.
It was a good experience. Okay. I would jump at the chance to do another grand representative position. I would too. Again.
Yeah, I would love to go, especially, now that I'm done with school and things like that. So how would you describe the mission and values of OES to someone who's unfamiliar with it?
The mission, how I would describe the mission of Eastern Star is supporting our community. Yeah. With all the charity work we do for Eye Foundation, the Heart, Cancer, Alzheimer's, we are very community oriented.
Yeah, we are. We are very community oriented. Juanita and I, in the last episode, we discussed how the Eastern Star has donated to a number of organizations, and the Masons recently, especially some of the ones that are affiliated with our chapter, they recently did a big donation to the Harley House, which was in the paper. And that was really cool to see. The Harley House is an amazing organization in Frederick for the domestic violence.
And that's one thing we do support, because the domestic violence, it's against women mostly. Right. So one of the calls is the call of want, the call of the orphan.
Yeah.
So to hear us doing that, it just raises us up.
Tell me, how has Eastern Star played a role in your personal or professional development?
In my personal development, it has taught me many things with my patience levels. I was very impatient when I was younger.
Yeah.
But learning all the different roles I've been in has taught me how to slow down, take a breath, and be calm with everything.
Yeah.
And it's also helped rein in to where I'm not snapping at everybody when they make me mad. I've learned how to pretty much just calm myself and try to exude that to the person who is angry.
Yeah.
And it takes a while, but it has helped.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that you were able to hone it on that. That's definitely a skill. And honestly, I think it's a lifelong skill for most people. I think everybody's working on that to one degree or another. We're all human, and we all.
You just need to find that. You just need to find that niche.
Yeah.
And I found it with Eastern Star.
And how do you think OES has impacted your community outside of charity donations?
That's a bit of a tougher question, because many of the communities still don't know Eastern Star. They know more about the Masons.
Yeah.
So them hearing about the Eastern Star, they're curious. But when they hear that we've donated to all the charities with, once again, heart, cancer, Alzheimer's, they understand we're trying to help.
Mm.
We are trying to find the solution to those problems.
Yeah.
It's just going to take time, patience, and everybody working together.
Yeah. How has your membership influenced your views on fellowship?
It's shown me that we can be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And fellowship can be multiple things. We can always have dinner together. We can always have fun together. It's also coming to these meetings and being there with everybody, supporting everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. And, Eastern Star, one of the things I really value about it is that they don't turn away anyone from any one,
walk
particular.
Of life.
Yes. Yeah. You could be, you could believe in any deity, any higher power, and be a part of the Eastern Star. And I don't think a lot of people realize that, because they see that a lot of the teachings are based on Christianity, and so they think that they have to automatically, be a Christian
or a Catholic.
What advice would you consider giving to someone someone who might want to join the Eastern Star?
Come to a fun function, see what we do for fun. And if you're interested, we can invite you to another function, say like if we're doing a dinner, we can invite you along to see how we serve the other organizations like the Masons, the Knights Templar, Scottish Rite, and see how we support each other in our own little temple.
Yes, there are lots of events that are open to the public. Not all of them, obviously, but many are.
Many of them are.
So, yeah, I think it may be one thing that we might be able to consider doing is putting out events on social media or something. How they do like Facebook events or whatever. We might be able to do something like that in the community where people can, show up, or they just know that there's an event happening at the lodge or whatever.
Yeah.
That might be a great idea for many chapters who are able to listen to this podcast. So, how do you see your role in Eastern Star evolving in the future?
I see me going further until I can't go anymore.
Yeah.
I will keep going with Eastern Star for as long as I can. Mostly because I am happy to keep, one, my family legacy alive. Two, we have the running joke in my family. I'm going to catch up to my grandfather, and the number of times he's been past patron, I will be the past matron that number of times.
Okay.
That's
a lot.
That's a running joke. That's the running joke in our family.
That's great. I am confident you can do it, and I am confident that you will continue to serve this chapter well. What is one lesson that you've learned from your Eastern Star experience that's really kind of always stayed with you?
Always keep learning, because in all the positions I've been in, I always keep an ear open and an eye open to see if there's anything new to learn, or if I can learn from some of the older members, especially when I go to grand sessions and I see how they run things. I can learn a bit from them and try to apply it, but not fully apply it because I'm not in that position.
Right. I think that's something, that a lot of people forget all too often is, that we all always have room to learn. And even if we think we already know the material, there's usually a new way to look at it, something to refine about it, right?
Yep.
And, no matter how much money you make or what titles you bear, you almost certainly always have room to learn something new.
And something to grow.
Yes, exactly. I truly, truly believe that. What does being a member of the Eastern Star mean to you personally, and then how might you summarize its impact on your life?
Me being a member of Eastern Star is being part of a greater call to help those in need, to help my fellow sisters and brothers grow with the organization, and to help the youth see what Eastern Star is capable of. So they may be interested in joining, they may be interested in continuing and growing themselves. And as to summarizing, I'm just going to keep it how I always have. Keep going forward, keep learning, and try to stay happy.
Well, good luck in that, Carole. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today. Thank you so much. It's been an honor to hear about your experiences and to really learn from you.
I was happy to help.